Welcome back to Jack of All Games Tabletop. I'm Dave Wallace, and it's time for another episode of 5 Games. Today we are doing 5 aesthetically beautiful games. Aesthetics, this is a big one for me. I'm an artist. I make my living 30 years of tattooing. I'm a miniature painter, of course, but also I'm a published illustrator, photographer, sketch artist, painter. I do all kinds of art. Is my life, and aesthetics is important to me. And so, of course, I wanted to take some time to bring that to this show. Now, if you've never seen one of my episodes of 5 Games, it's not necessarily in any particular order. I number them just so that you can see there's 5 of them. But they're just kind of anything that is from my own collection that I can pull that fits the category. So since the category is aesthetically beautiful games, of course I'm pulling out games that fit that. Not necessarily my favorites, although one of them is. Well, all of them are. But that being said, like I said, there's tons of games in my collection that I feel are aesthetically beautiful because oftentimes that is the thing that draws me to the game. If you put me in, a game store with a bunch of games that I didn't know, walking past and I say, oh, there's a board game with some kitty cats on it, and there's the next one that has some flowers on it, and the next one has skulls and aliens, I'm going to go check that out. And especially if it's some really cool fantasy art or something like that, then yeah, I'm drawn to it. Of course, that doesn't make it a great game, and they say don't judge a book by its cover, and games do work the same way. A lot of the games that I do have that I find aesthetically pleasing, I definitely love, and you can go back and check reviews that I've done for Rock Hard 1977, Last of Us that I just recently did, and even Kelp, and those are all completely different looking games. If you see my reviews, they're my appeal to the aesthetics are for different reasons. On the other hand, I've got games that I did a review for Escape from New York quite a while ago, and it wasn't a good review. I like the aesthetics of it, but yeah, as far as game, I didn't really think it was that great. So aesthetics doesn't make the game, but it definitely can be a major draw, major appeal. So that's what I wanted to explore this time. All right, so that being said, let's get into it, starting with a game I just talked about in the last episode of 5 Games.
Number 5, Moonrakers, IV Games 2020.
Yeah, Moonrakers. I got this one, I believe, at Gen Con almost 3 years ago now. And I had heard about it and seen some advertisements for it before I ever got my hands on it. And seeing it in person, I really just love the look of this game. I can definitely say that I love the way that they use the colors on the cover, and I love the raised spaceships and the logo, the name there. That kind of stuff just really, it's little added extras that kind of shows that they really care about their product. The embossing on there and the just the interesting use of the art with these kind of solid colors that they use throughout the game, that it's simplistic but just really elegant in the way everything pops, especially against all this navy background that you use for everything in here. The card designs in this game are very simplistic looking, but it just kind of works with everything that comes with the game. So yeah, like I said, I talked about this in the last episode of 5 Games. This is a deck building game. It's also a negotiation game in which as you're going after different missions, you can decide to split it with somebody else. But yeah, you're basically building a crew and going on these different space missions. But some of the things that appeal to me as far as the aesthetics go, it's the actual layout of the tray and the inside of the game. take a look at this. I mean, just everything. This is one of the few games that I have where I don't have to really bag anything. You'll see in here I pull out a little bag of ships. Those are the original ships because I got the expanded metal ships, which actually don't really do anything other than it's just a little extra shine to it. But yeah, I mean, as far as just everything, the coins, the dice, everything goes in so nicely, and nothing shuffles around. When I put this game on the shelf, nothing gets dislodged. Everything just fits perfectly. The quality of everything is nice, even if some of the art is very simplistic. Yeah, the quality of these boards, these player boards, are really nice. And sorry, that's upside down there. But yeah, I mean, it's got this kind of cool, almost blueprint look to everything here, but everything fits really nicely. It's just everything's real slick, real smooth, simple in its design, but it's just elegant. I really dig it.
Number 4, Escaton, Archon Games, 2016.
The very first board game they ever did a review for is also one that I love aesthetically, and that is Escaton. And again, you know, we've got this embossing, you know, just this dark gray that kind of gives you that vibe right off the bat, you know, where you can see these guys all carrying spears and stuff, but this silhouette, this dark gray, and then this black emboss on here is just, it's beautiful, and it gives you a vibe right off the bat that the theme of this game is dark. And that's true. Escaton is a kind of dark feel to it. I mean, this is a game where you are basically building up your cult, and you're gathering different cult leaders. You are moving into different territories, and where you're setting loose plagues on the land, and you're basically trying to conquer the land. It is an area control mixed with deck building. And the art is something that I really love about this. The board itself, I think, it's very simple, but I just love the feel of it. It really just kind of gets that dark vibe to it. But I really like the art in this. There's something beautiful about this kind of. It's almost like that bas relief kind of a vibe, or ink blot. It's actually more like an ink blot, you know, where you kind of carve out. And it's probably just you know, pen and ink, and then added watercolor on top of the cards. But it does have, yeah, like I said, where you know, kind of carve out the negative areas and roll the ink over the block, and then make your print off of that. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Maybe it is, I don't know. But everything that that this company does, Archon, makes, like everything from like the t-shirts that go with the game. They have another game that has the same kind of theme, and I just love it. It's not like super detailed, but it's just spooky, and just got a great feel to it. So yeah, I have, ever since I got this, and this is another one from Gen Con several years ago. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Still haven't picked up Nexus Infernum. I've been meaning to, but I haven't got to it. But yeah, if you've never checked out Escaton, it's cool. I dig it. So yeah, give it a shot. All right, up next is one from Mythic Games. Kind of gone now, but.
Number 3, Steam Watchers, Mythic Games, 2021.
I love Mythic Games. They made such cool stuff. This is Steam Watchers. I guess I got a thing for area control games. But yeah, I really loved the look of this when I saw it laid out. Yeah, another one at Gen Con. I actually didn't buy it there. I bought it after I got home. I was like, you know what, I really need to get that game. But yeah, I do love this beautiful fantasy art that's on here. This is a post-apocalyptic, and yeah, like I said, I've got a thing for area control apparently. This is a game in which it's post-apocalyptic, as in basically ice caps have melted and then refroze and covered the world in ice. And the only way to survive is to look for geothermal activity. And so you're kind of searching for steam to be bursting forth from the ground. That's the only way you're going to raise any kind of crops and find some survival. And this has a similar feel to games like Scythe and like Lords of Ragnarok, and that you're kind of moving across the board. Occasionally there is a little bit of combat. I love the layout of the board. Looks really beautiful, nice and crispy looking, and also the fact that they individually packaged all these different factions for you to join. The miniatures on this look really cool. Even this, they have these little stackable bubbles that basically they become the steam that you are seeking rising out of the ground there. So, but yeah, everything about this game, again, just had a beautiful appeal to me. It just seeing it laid out made me go, I need to have that game. So I enjoy it. I don't know, a lot of people get a chuckle out of the name, I guess. Apparently, since shit is steamy sometimes, then yeah, the inner 5-year-old comes out in some people. But yeah, I thought it was cool and still enjoy it now.
Number 2, Court of the Dead, Mourner's Call, Project Raygun 2019.
All right, so let's get into some dark, beautiful fantasy art. Court of the Dead, and again you see that cool little embossing of the logo, but also this amazing cover art on here. I appreciate when companies put the effort that they put into this game or games like it. I didn't know anything about this, and my buddy Russell brought it over to play one night, and just as he was unboxing everything, I just fell in love with the fact that Project Raygun, they really put a lot of love in this. I don't know how much Sideshow Collectibles was. You can still get this game on the Sideshow Collectibles website. But everything about it is highly detailed, from the miniatures, the board looks beautiful, everything. Like there's no cardboard tokens. They got these beautiful little metal coins that come with it. Everything has a nice feel to it. The dice look nice. When you put a cover sheet inside your game, you know that you are presenting a work of art. And I appreciate that when somebody loves their game so much that they put this kind of work into it. Court of the Dead, this is, again, a little bit of area control. It has card drafting and dice rolling and influence and that sort of thing. And in this, basically this takes place in the underground, which is kind of a purgatory. Basically, you're somewhere between heaven and hell, and you have these 3 factions where you are, choosing your faction. And you're trying to take control over more of the underground and gaining influence, trying to basically build up your kingdom so that the character of Death wants to join you in a war against heaven and hell. It's pretty wild. A lot of interesting ideas to that story. But yeah, just beautiful artwork. Everything through this game, I can't say enough about it. And it's a fun game to play too. All of these games that I'm doing today, they're all a lot of fun. But yeah, really dig this one. Yeah, check it out if you can. It's so cool. So I couldn't do a show about aesthetics without talking about my all-time favorite game.
Number 1, Scythe, Stonemaier Games 2016.
Ah, yes, Scythe. First, just take a look at the picture there. Actually, I'll show you a clearer picture and some of the expansions there, where you can see, this classic art of this, 1920s Europa. You've got, people just working and living their lives in the fields, but mechs walking through. And you know what? I will say, I saw someone recently say that the idea is a little bit misleading. I kind of get that. There's not so much mech combat. There's a little bit here. It's not really what it's about. It is definitely more about area control. You got worker placement and engine building. But everything about this game is just beautiful. I love the look of the mechs, and I love the your heroes, the miniatures that come with that. I love even the art on the cards is similar as this cover, as far as the look of everything. I mean, that's so cool. That should really fuel the imagination, and I think that's one of the things that I really love about it is just somebody had so much care in this to think of that alternate history turned into this really cool idea of these just metal machines, steam powered or whatever they are, marching across the land, and big cannons, and this fight for territory. It's all just really fueled by this artwork that kind of makes it almost that same depression that probably would come without even seeing the mechs in the background. But it's dark, but it's beautiful, and everything about the board itself. Always enjoyed how just laying that out, and just once it can take a while to get everything in place, and once it all set up, it just looks beautiful. The expansions, I love the airships. The idea of, again, looking at the art on the expansions where people again just walking and working and minding their own business while these giant battleships that are flying through the air. It's so cool. It's so creative. Just, I don't know, something about it. The whole thing is just beautiful, and it's a great game. I love playing it. So yeah, always going to be my favorite. No, maybe. And like I said, that's just 5 out of my collection. I've got lots of games that I think are really elegant, really beautiful. And I'm sure there's some, different things that appeal to different people. It doesn't have to be a game that I love to be great aesthetics. You might have different things that appeal to you in different ways. And sometimes it is the intricacy involved in the artwork. Sometimes it's the quality of the components. Sometimes it's the way everything fits in the box. And that's all the aesthetic stuff. That doesn't mean that these games are necessarily going to be your favorites, but I would be interested in hearing your opinions on what you think are some of the most beautiful games in your collection. Or maybe you've played a game or seen a game and you're like, it's so gorgeous, I don't know anything about it, but I have to get it. So yeah, let me know what you think are some of your favorite aesthetically beautiful games. I'd love to hear about it. All right, I guess that'll be it. And until next time, get out there and roll some dice.
Hey gamers, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. It's one of the things I know that I can count on with the gaming community at large. This is of course to the point where I gotta ask you to like it, hit that subscribe button, and maybe share this with a friend. If you are a game designer, or maybe starting your own gaming company and you want to do a little bit of cross promotion, maybe you got a prototype that you want me to check out and talk about on the show, definitely let me know. And of course, for all questions, suggestions, and corrections, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of me. Probably the easiest one is just comment below. You can also send me an email at jackofallgamestt@gmail.com. The T stands for tabletop. And if you'd like to take a look at my commissioned miniature paint jobs, or even some of the other stuff in my life like photography or tattooing, which is what I do for my day job, go check it out on Instagram @ArtOfWallace. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.